Okay. Now, as I go through the kind of lecture on observation and pantomime right now, using sense memory, emotional recall, keep an eye on the chat because I will be posing questions, and then I'd like you to answer those questions in the chat when they come up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch a brief video about how we can tap into what's called sense memory and emotional recall. So let's take a look at this video.
This basic method acting exercise for beginning actors will help you with concentration and teach you how you can use your senses to create imaginary objects and experiences on stage. First, you want to have a nice warm cup of coffee at the ready and make sure it's not too hot. If you don't like coffee, you can use tea, soda, juice, or any other beverage. Make sure you're comfortably seated in a chair and fully relaxed before you start the exercise. Now, look at the cup. How big is it? Is it tall or wide? How much space does it take? What color is it? Is anything written or drawn on the cup? Are there any marks or scratches on it? Now, pick up the cup and begin exploring it. First, feel the cup. How heavy is it in your hands? Can you assess the weight of it? Notice which of your muscles are engaged to hold the cup. Notice how you're holding the cup. Try to hold it different ways, exploring how it feels every time. Run your fingers along the cup and notice its texture. Is it made of fine china? Styrofoam? Can you feel grooves or imperfections? Now notice how warm your hands feel. Are your fingers tingling from the heat? How much cooler is the handle than the rest of the cup? Bring the cup closer to your face and explore the warmth of the steaming coffee on your face. How does the coffee smell? Freshly roasted? Slightly burnt? Nutty? Take a sip. What sound does the liquid make? Take another sip. How does the coffee taste? Is it bitter, sweet, strong? Explore how your body feels as you swallow the warm coffee. Continue exploring the coffee cup through all 5 of your senses for as long as you want. Then put the cup down and try to recall the sensations you had while you hold an imaginary coffee cup. Go back and forth between the real coffee cup and the imaginary coffee cup to help you recreate each sensation.
Okay, so what you just watched is a very common exercise that many actors engage in. It is not the only way to prepare for a role, but it is a very common way. It comes from a Russian theater director by the name of Konstantin Stanislavski. It is a part of what is known as method acting. And I really want to stress it's not the only way to approach a performance, but it is the way that we are going to explore here because it is very common. So what this video is talking about is sense memory. Sense memories help actors create physical conditions. So that actor who experienced the sensation of the hot coffee cup, paying attention to what the cup felt like, paying attention to the steam coming off of the coffee, what it smelled like, what it tasted like when he took a drink. All of those things are called sense memories, and they are related to emotional recall. So an emotional recall is bringing back to memory any event in your previous experiences that have triggered certain emotions that your present character demands. That memory from the past is then applied to your character to get the same emotion in the present. Now, we're not doing any really complicated emotional recall or sense memory right now. The only thing we're going to be doing this week is focusing on what is known as pantomiming. So if I were to, really show you myself drinking a cup of cold water, that's what it looks like. And what I'll be practicing this week is pantomiming that. And it's easy for me at that moment to do the emotional recall and the sense memory because I just had the cold cup in my hand. And all I'm doing when I'm pantomiming is I'm showing about how big that cup is and how I lift it and how I swallow it. That's sense memory and emotional recall. So the big thing that I want to kind of tap into with you guys is that acting is all about using our imaginations. Performing is all about using our imaginations. And our imaginations are actually fueled by life experiences. That doesn't mean that everything that we imagine comes from real life. I mean, some of us have wild imaginations, but even our wildest imaginations are fueled by some semblance of reality. And the more actors are willing to feel themselves fully, the easier it is to act, to perform. So building our emotional muscles to the fullest potential is just as important as developing our physical and vocal muscles. And sense memory is what helps us do this. So we're going to be talking this week about what is known as the magic as if. That's all performing is all about, right? If I am portraying a character in a film, whether I'm playing a superhero or I'm playing a surgeon, I have to perform or I have to act as if I am that person. So that magic as if is something that I'll be talking about the entire year we are in this course. Can we behave as if we have a cup of water in our hands? Can we behave as if we are brushing our teeth, but we don't actually have the tool of brushing our teeth with us? What would I do if I were in these circumstances as the character that I'm portraying? So let's practice. And this is where we're going to use the chat. I want you to imagine that in your performance, you are supposed to act like you are walking home from school on a terribly hot and humid day. How would that feel? And in the chat, what I would like you to do is just think of the words that come to mind. Let's see if everybody's still paying attention. Think of the words that come to mind when I say terribly hot and humid day. Humid is, it's kind of like that weather we have outside right now. If you're experiencing what I'm experiencing today, that it's sticky. So still trying to hear from everybody. I don't see anybody sounding off in the chat yet. Hoping everybody's still with me. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Daisy. Yes, tired, exhausted, sweaty, frizzy hair. Absolutely. Miserable. What a good. Yes. Oh, Carter said, Mom, can you please pick me up? Yes, absolutely. Oh, these are such good words. You guys are awesome. Amazing. Lethargic. What a good word. Sweaty. Tired. Yes. And so if we were in the live classroom right now, what I would be having you do was actually walk with each other across the room to show me what that looks like. And that's the magic as if. The classroom wouldn't actually be hot and humid. The sun wouldn't be beating down on us. But I would ask you to walk across the room as if you have to walk home on a hot and sweaty day. So like walking inside a giant microwave. I would actually say, and this is what I say anytime it's hot and humid, I always say, I feel like I'm standing inside someone's mouth. It's gross, right? You guys picked wonderful words. And I don't want you to forget this because you're going to be tapping into this skill with what I'm going to ask you to do later this week. So, pantomime. Pantomime is the theatrical technique of suggesting action, character, or emotion without words, using only gesture, expression, and movement. So if I had to express what that hot and humid day felt like outside, I would walk and I'd probably go, something like that. That's pantomime. So we're going to watch a quick little video because the word pantomime comes from the word mime. Let's take a look. Okay, so there you have what a traditional mime looks like. That is not what I am asking anyone to do right now, because a lot of times students are like, wait, are you talking about the guy who has the, the white face makeup and all that? No, not at all. We are going to be doing something that looks a little bit more like this.
I'm Will, and this is ironing and folding a cloth.
Okay, so this video is a little bit on the longer side, but I'm hoping that you get the idea that what you are doing is acting as if you are doing a particular activity. So what I would like you to do is take a look at this form that I am sharing with you right here. This is the Observing a Person assignment. You will find this on Schoology. This is attached to the assignment. It is the one that will come up as a Google Doc that you will submit when you are done. And so you are going to observe a person around you. It could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your brother, it could be your sister, anyone who lives with you, anyone who you spend time with right now. It can be whoever you are able to observe. And what you're going to do first is you are going to record their information. So the gender of that person, the age of that person, their posture. Are they standing? Are they sitting? Are they leaning? Are they slouching? When you're observing them, that's what you're recording. And their action. Describe what they are doing. And I'm going to repeat this many, many times. We want to keep it simple. You don't want to have to, let me rephrase that. I don't want you to observe somebody doing something super, super complicated. Keep it simple. You're going to watch somebody doing something like brushing their teeth, maybe even watching TV, playing video games, cooking a meal, drinking their coffee, eating their breakfast, something simple. And it should not include any dialogue, any speaking at all. You should record their mood. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they angry? Are they tired? Are they energetic? And anything else you see as unique or interesting about that person. So you'll record all of that on this form. And then you're going to write a brief description about what you see. And so the example that I wrote here is, my mother is preparing pasta and sauce at the kitchen stove. She is tired, leaning against the counter and talking on her cell phone at the same time as she's stirring noodles and cutting onions. Now, when I reenact that, I'm not going to reenact any of the actual verbal words, any of the words that she's saying on the phone. But having that phone, how she's holding the phone, you know, is she going like this? Does she have it on speaker? Is she using AirPods? Something like that. Those are all things that I have to consider. But I'm not including any speaking at all. This is all pantomime. And then in that last box, it says, describe sense memory techniques you will use to perform these actions. So again, if I'm looking at my example, I can recall a time when I also felt really tired and also very hot because she's working over a hot stove, you know. This would make my body feel heavy, which would cause me to slump over. So that's what I mean by that, by describing sense memory techniques. We all have sense memory techniques because we've all experienced what it is like to feel something physically, to taste something, all of those things, to hear something, to smell something. Those are all sense memory techniques that we can tap into with those beautiful imaginations that we have for the magic as if. So then you will record pantomiming those actions. So if it were my example, I would either hold up my recording device, either my Chromebook or my cell phone, whichever I'm going to record on, or I would ask someone in my house to do it for me. That they would hold the camera while I reenact what it looks like as I'm trying to talk on the phone and fix the dinner. Once that is recorded, if you record it directly to Flipgrid, then you know that all you have to do is hit record right there. 2 ways to submit the performance. If you record from your phone or another device and then you have to download the video file and upload it to Flipgrid, like you did with your Wii video project. So that, I skipped forward a couple of slides because I wanted to make sure I showed you that. So when you're observing, you can choose one of these or similar actions: brushing teeth, combing hair, shaving, talking on the phone, watching television videos on their phone, looking over themselves in a mirror, putting in, taking out contact lenses, cooking a meal, or anything else that is school appropriate. So I'm just repeating all of those really simple tasks. You're not asking your family member to perform some crazy thing that you can reenact. It's simple. It's about observation and practicing pantomime. And then you'll perform the action as if, that magic as if, you were that person performing that specific action by using sense memory and emotional recall. And the big thing, many of you are doing the assignment on Schoology, but you're not submitting it. So I gave you a screenshot here showing you this is the Observing a Person assignment, the top of it. Person's name is here, and there's a button right there that says Submit Assignment. So when you record, when you turn in your video and you turn in this assignment, when it's time to do that, you have to do those 2 things. So here's an example of how to pace yourself this week. Today, spend some time, 30 to 60 minutes, observing a member of your household. And then begin your Observing a Person Google document. Tomorrow, complete the check-in for the class. Watch and answer the questions on pantomime video that I have included for tomorrow. It's a different pantomime video than the ones we just watched in class. Thursday, complete your check-in, attend our Zoom class, and prepare your performance by rehearsing it. Really thinking about those sense memories and emotional recall. And then record yourself with the magic as if in mind. And if you do it on a different device, that's the day you want to download the file, so you're not scrambling to do it on Friday. Then on Friday, complete your check-in, complete your observation form and submit it on Schoology, finish your video, submit it on Flipgrid. I also want you to check your grades for accuracy. making sure that everything that you have turned in is accurately reflected. And then send a specific and polite email to me if you believe there may be discrepancies in the grade.